They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense.
King Harold. King's Roulette, King's Club, $2,238 is in the machine in Shelbyville. And of course, 15% keeps getting bigger as these numbers keep growing. And we're going for $335 today in this session. And that would put us at $2,584. We have every expectation we're going to be able to do it, but there are some challenges here that we face.
We're the only ones there.
We're the only players. It's a Monday. We know what we're up against. And of course, the casino sets the rules. So we're capped at $50 is the most we can bet on the 0 double zeros. And the most we can bet on the split numbers is $100.
That's correct.
That cramps your style when you get up into larger numbers and you're trying to make a larger percentage, because you got to be very careful that you don't run up against it and now you're out of rope and it's around your neck, and that's not a comfortable place to be. So we're actually starting out low because it'll escalate fast, and then you find yourself up against it with a $50 bet on the double zeros, and you want to go to the next level and you can't get there. Or you find yourself up against a $100 bet on the splits and you can't get there. So we're going to have to evaluate as we go. We're going to be calling audibles today to avoid that kind of calamity. But we're also going to have to factor into the equation of these iBlock machines. Are we tailoring back our buy-in and tailoring back our goal for the percentage? And because we just can't we have every intention of winning every session, every day as we go. And that's going to raise the money we have every day, and that's going to raise the percentage every day. And so we're going to have to make it the right decision. And you can see right there, we made $102 with like half the board bet. Sometimes just having some numbers out there is enough. But we're trying to make the right decisions. They changed the timing on the wheel. They're doing everything they can to defeat you. The ball's out there on the wheel bouncing around, hunting certain numbers, and the timing of the wheel spin is different. There's nobody else sitting here besides us, so we're in a fight with the casino right now, and we still fully intend on winning that fight. We've got the tools available. We're sitting out watching a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. I was telling some people today, Kingdom Dwellers today, were talking about catching a long losing streak, and that can happen. Once you get to 2, 3, 4 losses in a row, step back. Watch the wheel for a little while. Get the feel for it. What's happening right now during this moment of loss? A lot of it is that a bad spin keeps going. It's kind of like momentum in the wrong way. So feel perfectly all right to step back and watch a couple of spins. Make it turn the other way. Make it get a win. And you go, okay, that's a win. Now maybe we're going the other way now. And so recognize that this is a streaky game, and streaks come in wins and losses. And we're seeing some of that now, even right now as we're playing. What's happening is we're trying to play off of $4 bets. And when you have this many bets to make and you have to punch the number so many times, a lot of times you go one over or one under. A lot of times you miss hit and you got the money on the number instead of on the split. And when you have to hit so many times on a number, you're asking for problems. So again, these are things that the casino does to confuse you and to cause you to make mistakes. So we're trying to avoid as many mistakes as we can, and we're still winning. So I almost don't know if I'm allowed to say what I want to say, but I want to say that this is a kingdom that's observant, and you guys do pay attention to things, and you have been watching us now for the last few days, and you saw that we started today at $2,238. And if you've been watching, you've been seeing that we've been in a continuation from one session to the next, that we pick up where we left off. That is our buy-in that we're carrying over. We're extending our buy-in every session. And 3 days ago, this buy-in amount of money was $1,000 even. And we made 15%, and we came back with 1,158 of that abouts, and we grew it, and we grew it, and we grew it to the point now that we started today at $2,238. That's just 3 days later. We've made $1,100 in 3 days. We have every intention of winning every session. That's what we plan on doing. And we're going to work very hard toward that end. It helps when I can go repeat bet, got the 4 out there, and now do I add something to it, or do I sit here with the $4 bet? And you wish that you could have a $15 bet out there, and you can, but the problem with it is if you catch 3 or 4 losses, then you're going to find yourself up against that table maximum on the bets, and well, if it comes at the wrong time, you're in trouble. So we're building the restrictions of the I-Block Shelbyville Casino enforced restrictions. We're building that into our calculation, and the Angel and I are talking strategies nonstop. I mean, we know where the bets go. We're trying to determine the right amount of the bet, and we're trying to predict and be prepared for the next bet. So we've got a lot of things going on, and that's why, sometimes it's better to, when you're working these things, to have a partner with you who knows what you're doing. It helps a lot. I wouldn't be nearly the player I am if I didn't have the Angel beside me all the time. He sometimes gets in ill humor, but, I guess we all do. So we got those same numbers out there. The 1-4 sideways split, the top-bottom split of the 7-8, and then swinging back with the 9-12. And that's that nasty 23 number right there in the middle that we never have. But it's a strong complement of numbers. Catching some losing streaks today so far it's kind of making it a challenge to battle on, but we got plenty of bankroll. We're going to just play it out. And we believe at the end of the time, we believe that, we're going to prevail because we seem to prevail all the time anyway. I said a long time ago, winners are winners. That's what they do. Winners win. So winners actually expect to win. And that expectation is usually rewarded. It was some time ago that there was a college football coach whose team had a powerful running game, and they went right through the season undefeated. And this was back when you just had one championship game without a playoff. And they were going up against the number 2 team in the nation, and that team was a real passing team. And they asked the head coach of the running team, who was a good old Texas boy who spoke with a slow drawl and all that. And they were asking him about, you going to put in any passing plays? I mean, this team knows that you're going to run the ball. They're prepared for you. This is what you've done all year. And we're just curious. Are you going to put in some play action passes? You're going to throw the ball deep, try to shake things up. What do you think about doing, Coach? And the coach said, I think I'll go with what brung me. I think I'll go with what brung me, he said. In other words, we run the ball, and that's what we're going to do. And they did, and of course they won the national championship that day. So it's one of the things that good teams and good strategies like we have here is you know what you're going to do, they know what you're going to do, but you do what you know you're going to do better than they can defend. So you just bring what you've got, and you do it right, and you're going to win. And we're doing this right. I mean, of course, you know the King, so I'm stubbing my toe every now and then. But I sometimes win even when I can't get out of my own way, because I've just been blessed with that of you're going to get it done. And that happens to me a lot. I call it divine intervention, but then again, I know God doesn't get involved in every little tiny thing of our lives. He's not escorting me around every little hole in the road. But we know what we're doing here, and we are playing it as with the strictest discipline that we can play, because this money's important, and that's a nice score right there. Keep it rolling. Man, the Angels are trying to help me bang out some numbers here on the other side too, because we're having to tap it so many times to get those $6 bets, whatever it is, down, playing all the extra $2 bets. So we got about half of the board lit up now. That dreaded 2 and 3 there. 2, 3, 5, 6, that dreaded corner bet. Yeah, we've been tinkering around with Eric's numbers, and Eric, of all people, knows exactly what the numbers are. And there are times that on the wheel, not on the board layout here, but on the wheel itself, that between the number 30, which appears as the fourth number after the 0, the number 30 is 30, 11, 7, 20, 32, 17, 5, 22, 34, 15, 3. If you're going to catch losing streaks using this strategy, you're going to catch them right there. That is, you have 4 straight numbers, 0, 28, 9, 26, 4 in a row there. But then from the 30 all the way out to the 3, there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 numbers. And in that 11 numbers, there are 3 live numbers and 8 losers. So I know Eric did this himself, so he knows that this was a risk that was built in. But we've been looking at this and trying to assess, is there a way, pardon me, is there a way that we can mitigate this condition? Can we strike a little bit of a balance to where if the ball gets caught in this rhythm where it's landing in that 10, 11 space, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, in that space of 11, 12 numbers where there's only 3 numbers that we would have, is there a way we can do that? So we've been experimenting and tweaking. That's what we do here. That's certainly no disrespect to Eric. We don't have this without him. But everything that you ever get, I use the word bespoke because that's an old-fashioned word, but it's an old-fashioned word that has a real specific meaning. And it was originally used to describe a suit that a man or woman went into a store and picked out a bolt of cloth and stood there, and they got measured, and the suit was made not in a particular size. It was made to fit the person. And to be bespoke meant something that's designed especially for you to your particular standards. And so when you are using this algorithm or any other, you can make it a bespoke for you. You can look at it hard. You can see if there's something that you think might be better. And after you've got it, maybe you find out later that it wasn't. I mean, this is a game where we're always searching for that 1% edge. And I'm as big an advocate of that as I can be. I would never turn over an algorithm to somebody out there in the kingdom and then take exception that they thought there was a modification that might make it stronger. Matter of fact, I would ask them to share that modification with me because, as I said this morning, we're all about the winning. We aren't worried about who gets the credit for anything. We are all a group of avid roulette players that are smart about what we're doing and varying levels of experience among all of us in the kingdom. But sometimes out of varying minds comes the right answer. It comes the right direction to go. I used to tell a story when I was on a speaking circuit. I was talking with Val about this over the weekend. I was on a speaking circuit that I would give 10-minute after dinner speeches at corporate dinners, and they'd fly me in and pay me and do the whole bio thing, and I would give a anecdotal laden, lighthearted business 101. Like I speak all the time about overheads and cost of doing business and economies of scale, but I would blend in the humor. And I used to tell the story about the dog food company that was very successful, but had some engineers in there that were looking to make the dog food healthier than ever and appeal to the audience of this is going to make your dog super dog. And they rolled it out with beautiful colored bags, and they tested the dog food. It was the highest of protein, the highest of vitamins, the lowest of fat. And they hired a name Hollywood actress to come out with her little dog and do the whole thing. And they were ready for explosiveness. And for a while, sales were still okay, but then they began to tail off. And after another month, they started to crater to where the dog food company was in all-out panic. And the board of directors assembled key employees from around the company to troubleshoot what's going on. Like I say, they're looking for success from whomever is going to have a suggestion. And president and chairman of the board was talking and turned it over for suggestions. And surprisingly to him, there were none. No one knew what to do. We've got the most colorful bags that tested to all the audiences. We got the greatest spokesperson that everybody loves. Our ads all test very high. But people have stopped buying the dog food. And the chairman of the board was looking around the room, and there was a new kid in a white shirt in the back of the room that just graduated from Penn, and he was squirming a little. And the chairman said, hey, what's your name? And he said, I'm Ben Riley. I've just been with the company about a month. Graduated from Penn Wharton School. And the chairman said, well, then, okay, what's your assessment? And the young man looked around the room, afraid to say it, and then he finally said it. The dogs don't like it. It's a very simple thing of forgetting who your customer is, forgetting who you're actually serving. You're not serving the man or the woman who's buying the dog food. You're actually serving the dog. And if the dog don't eat it, they aren't going to buy it. And so they corrected their trajectory, and they recovered their sales because of a young man who was just standing there who could see the obvious when everybody else couldn't. That's one of the things that I know. I serve you. I don't ever have any doubts about who I'm serving, and I enjoy it so very much. And that's why I'm enjoying people coming into the palace and visiting with me, and seeing that I'm just this old guy that's been doing this stuff here for a long time and finishing it off in style. And I'm enjoying this. I mean, this is a long day today. We have a high profit line to try to make. We've got to start at a very low number because you don't want to run up against the table maximums allowed. So you're trying to make $346, or you're trying to make $335 rather. Trying to make $335 off of $4 bets. That's quite an undertaking. But we're up to the task. I hope. We're battling right now, that's for sure. In the grind. Trying to make less squeaking out of this red sofa that everybody got to see today. That's what makes all the noise, is me squirming around on this thing. Covering those zeros up. Adding to these bets. Staggering a little. Got to try to make $335. We've made it every other day. No reason to think we're not going to make it today. Doggone wheel is not cooperating. You can see that dreaded 32 and that 20. Those are losers that are right there in that flat spot. The 3 and the 6. And you can see it right there, 6, 13, 10. Losers. 6, then a winner, 7, then caught a nice little streak, 35, 27. Then the 25 knocked us back off. An $875 score. Now that puts a little giddy up in your step, doesn't it? When you see that thing wobble around that zero and then settle in there, like Christmas morning. But we're kind of lonely in this place today on a Monday. Place is pretty empty. A couple of people wander around making a couple of small bets and then they're gone. They're going up to the roulette wheel with $20. That's what the casino does to people. They want their $20. These $85 scores, that's all right. That's lots of times it's only a $25 profit because you got a $60 bet out there. But plus 25 is plus 25. I put my hands like that because I'm praying and saying, please make me Gideon, O Lord. No, not really. Angel's getting my hands in the shot because he's trying to video the board and I'm getting my hands in the way. Yeah, I'm saying that's how big my brain is. Actually, I was saying how big the measurement is on the wheel of having no numbers. And another score, $25 profit. Yeah, 85. That's another $25 winner. Pick them up $25 at a time. That's all right. Every now and then, those two at the head of the table there in those green spots, they hit, and it's a whole different game. And they're going to hit. You just got to keep letting that ball bounce around. Exciting times around here. We're moving on toward new things. We got a new queen today. Krista joined us. She's been kind of a professional gambler for a long time. She's been supporting herself as her own little side hustle out there in Las Vegas. And reading her story that she sent me today on the email was so heartening and encouraging. I don't know this person, this woman. I don't know her, but it appears that she's a single parent. It appears that she's had her own struggles in life, and she's overcome so much, and she's found ways to make little bits of money over the years to keep things going forward, and that kind of thing shows to the discipline of a person. If they're struggling to go forward, but they have the discipline to play for the little numbers, to scrape a little bit out each day, it speaks highly to the person's discipline already. And now it appears that someone has recognized Krista's ability and is perhaps staking her or financing her, because tonight I get to welcome Queen Krista as she has elevated herself to queen status in the kingdom. And heartiest congratulations from me and the angel and all of us in the kingdom. Welcome, Krista. And you'll see her popping in with comments and give her a big welcome, because she's trying to find her way too, as we all are. And we are going to support each other as we go. Through the good and through the bad, we're going to be here for each other. Welcome, Queen Krista. We're going to find out more about your story as we go. Share it with our entire kingdom. Jetmax, the one pointed out that doggone red sofa was making all that noise, huh? Yep. I guess a little bit of Columbo in him. He figured it out. Saw some emails, comments today with Eric involved too, and I'm really enjoying that when replies to comments start bouncing around between all of us in the kingdom. That's how we get stronger. We're going to work with each other. You see something you can add to. You don't have to do some kind of protocol like, well, King, what were you going to say? This isn't about that. This is a full representative republic. This is not a democracy. This is a representative republic that every last one of us means as much as the next person. So chime in. Get involved. You've got something you can add, you add to it. We like everybody with the oar in the water. Everybody. That's how we get it done. I'm grinding along here. It's like one of those games that doesn't have a first, second, third, or fourth quarter. It has a beginning amount and an ending amount. And the ending amount is 15% profit. That's a nice little score. And that's when we end. It doesn't end until then. $2,525. And we are taking a ticket out. And there it is.
And now we gotta play because
We jumped the gun. That's what we did, right?
Yep.
The angel made a mistake. First mistake he ever made. He listened to me. That's a terrible error on his part. Egregious, actually. We are not at 15% yet. So we got to put this back in there. And we got to try to figure out how to get to. Is that what we're getting to 2,584, right?
Well, that's what we eventually get to.
Yeah.
But our goal was 75. And
Our goal was
we were at 25.
Yeah, we're at 25. The goal is to get to 2,575. That's what the goal is. We were not there. It was a little short. I mean, it wasn't like terrible. But we do precision here. And so we're going to be back at work. And that's what we're doing. There was a little bit of debate there about would we play some kind of other bets to try to recover this last $25 or so, but we finally said, nope, we're going to go with what brung us. This is the game that brung us. This is the game that we're going to hit the finish line with. And so that's what we did. Stayed at it. So it hadn't always been pretty. It certainly hasn't been brief and quick, but we are going to get it done. We were wanting to make $335 today in this session. Sometimes the longest waits when you're trying to get that last couple of dollars. Because we don't like that casino keeping anything. We want to take everything that we got. Everything we got going, we want it. And now King is still punching around the board there and get that last 33, 36 in time. That may be the one that hits. You never know. Get a hit, rebet. That's always good. Just punch rebet, throw them back in there, and then add a couple of dollars to each one. And see, can't we catch one of them this time with an intersection? Let's just have one hit. Oh, voila. Gotta get another bet down. Made it 8 seconds to spare, but you actually don't have 8 because it'll get down to round 5 and just cut you off before he gets to 0. That's the way these people work. Lonely people in the casino trying to beat an I block by yourself, trying to raise a large profit, 15%, $335 we're shooting for, playing by ourselves. I mean, you couldn't set yourself up for a more difficult hill to climb, which is why, we're approaching the 40-minute mark of this video because it's hard work. Got to keep concentrating. You got to keep doing the right thing. Sometimes you got to make the decision to take the bets down because you didn't get them there in time. They shorten the clock on you, doing all the devious things that they do. And you've got to live with it. Beat them at their game. I'm absolutely certain up there in the top room, they're staring at the cameras of me because they don't have anybody else to look at. And that's a win. Still slugging along. Started this session at $2,238. Trying to make $335 on top of that. Just 3 days ago, this same amount was $1,000. There's been $1,200 added to this thing in the 2 days since. This being day 3.
Should we start our first session with Val?
What was that?
We started with 1,000 at Val.
Started with Val, yeah. Trying to close the door on session. Trying to keep this running total going forward, adding to it every session, not taking anything back, not going back into the bankroll, not touching it, leaving that 95% the same place it was. It's been for 3 days now, and we've kept this part sequestered in the buy-in group so we could keep increasing the buy-in. Taking longer to knock this out. Well, you get back in, you just need a short amount of money, but then you catch a couple of bad spins and, okay, well, you went down 60, you went down 60, you went down 60, you went down 90, you went down 120, you got to win it all back. So it turns out to be more than just trying to make $15. I'm still rebidding. Got the bets out there. That was a good score. Started with 2,238 today. Looking to make 335. Getting ever so close right now. Gideon sends more soldiers out to the front lines. Sends them out to do battle. No work to do this time, just send them back out. Losing streaks. No game more streaky than roulette. There's a good win. Trying to get back up there. And a score. Lower those bets. Just cancel the whole thing. Oh, I'm going to get them through it. Trying to get there. We're all over it. Still keep getting wins, you know, there's a smaller variety, but if you get enough of them, if you can manage yourself through the sequence of D'Alembert so that you can maximize your opportunities after losses, make your wins more powerful than your losses. Nice to have a win. Sitting out a spin. Perfectly all right to do that, particularly with this system. Those flat spots can get you, and sometimes you catch a couple of losses. Just take a break. Let's see it start going the other way, because it will. And let's ride when that's happening. Let's ride with it. Don't forget that last one, 33.36. That's a profit of $346, not $335. So we overshot the runway by $11 on a big day. Started with 2238, and there you see 2584. And the king and the angel bid you